British Prime Minister Theresa May has given members of Parliament feedback on her Brexit negotiations. May has been on a mission to secure changes to the infamous backstop that saw MPs give her a thumbs down. But the European Union has maintained that they will not be renegotiating the deal. The United Kingdom is expected to leave the EU in just under 7 weeks. To give us more on this, we're joined by our UK correspondent, Natalie Powell. Natalie, do we know what she's been able to put before the MPs?
Now, of course.
Okay.
Their nerve and essentially give her more time to, of course, speak to those EU officials. And that's because she hasn't got a great deal from them so far. We know, of course, that she is seeking legally binding changes to the big sticking point of the Irish border backstop. But so far, the EU not really willing to play ball on this. They're refusing to reopen that negotiation. And what's been happening here in the UK, of course, is that opposition party members, including the Labour leader opposition member Jeremy Corbyn, he's been saying that essentially what the government is doing is trying to run down the clock on this and essentially leave it until the final hours so that MPs basically have the choice between her deal or a no deal. We know that the majority of MPs certainly don't want to end up in a no deal scenario, so accusing her of running down the clock on that and wanting firm answers as to when she is likely to get any concessions from the EU and when, of course, MPs can vote on that.
Why do people like Jeremy Corbyn believe that she is trying to blackmail MPs? What is the source of their of that assertion?
Well, essentially what's happening, Vio, is that the UK government and MPs have until the 29th of March to sign off on a Brexit deal. They have to pass a motion through Parliament saying that they approve the Brexit deal that the UK Prime Minister has got with the members of the European Union. And essentially, if the UK Parliament does not approve a deal when it comes to the 29th of March, following that date, the UK ends up in a no-deal scenario, and that would be potentially disastrous for not just the UK but other EU member states as well in terms of the economy, in terms of what happens with trade. So what Jeremy Corbyn's argument is, and indeed a number of MPs that back him on this, is that essentially what the government is trying to do is force MPs' hands to vote for a deal that they are not happy with because they would prefer that over the potentially damaging no-deal scenario.
Of course, we also have the central bank now warning of not only what this no deal will do for Britain, but the disturbance it may cause in the world economy as well.
Absolutely, it could have ripple effects, and that's because, of course, the UK has a 40-year relationship with the EU. It is tied into a number of trade treaties that then expand to other countries as a result of its membership of the EU. So the knock-on domino effect of this could be quite far-reaching. Now, the UK Prime Minister is really trying to calm any concerns at the moment, saying that she is working hard to secure further assurances from Brussels to try and get her deal across the line, of course, and asking for patience from MPs with regards to that. We know, of course, on Thursday here in the UK, MPs will be voting on further amendments. They're not legally binding, but essentially what they could do is give the UK government a bit more of a mandate to go back to Brussels and try to renegotiate a bit harder when it comes to the sticking points. But Brussels really not willing to budge at this stage, so it is likely, therefore, that things could go right down to the wire, and that would mean going right down to the wire in terms of Brussels budging, but also going right down to the wire in terms of whether the UK members of Parliament would essentially vote for a deal that they're not happy with, because that is better, in their opinion, than a no-deal scenario.
Natalie Powell, let's leave it there for now. Natalie Powell, our UK correspondent, coming through to us live from London. Well,